threat. So with the floor spaced and Rudy rolling, they're a handful for sure.
Is Draymond all set for tonight?
Yeah, Draymond's good to go.
And Jacob Evans is listed as questionable. How do you see him progressing with a broken nose and concussion?
Yeah, he just has to get doctor's clearance before the game. He's on schedule for that. Things have gone well. And Glenn Robinson will play tonight.
What do you think of the games that Eric Paschall has been putting together lately? He's not having any problem getting to the rim. It seems like he can do what he wants to do. He's feeling confident about it.
Yeah, he's having a good run right now. And I thought, he had a few weeks there where he lost some momentum, some of it due to injury, maybe some of it due to just experimenting with our lineups and playing with different groups and that kind of thing. But he's definitely in a good groove right now. He's playing at a high level.
Feels like there's still some of these centers in the league, like Rudy Gobert and then Jonas Valanciunas from the other night. What's been the struggle for you guys specifically? Is it just size? Limiting those guys specifically, in the paint by the rim?
Just in terms of Valanciunas.
And guys like that having big nights, big box score nights.
I think it's just, I haven't given it that much thought in terms of that position hurting us so much. Whiteside had a big game statistically the other night. I think the way the game is played these days, that it's rare that you see a traditional five like Gobert or Valanciunas. And because the game's played so small, those guys can put up some pretty big numbers, especially rebounding the ball and getting some easy buckets inside. So it's not particularly surprising. It's just a question of how coaches use those guys, and threes versus twos, and does that player complement the guys around him and vice versa. That's just kind of how the league is.
Staying on that topic of centers, you put Spellman in the starting lineup for maybe 4 games or so. He shot pretty well. You've gone back to Cauley-Stein now for the last 4 or so. Why did you kind of flip-flop that, and what do you think moving forward you're going to kind of plan on with that position?
Well, it's rewarding Omari for playing well, and we had a couple matchups that we liked, being able to stretch out the defense, force them to guard the perimeter, and matchups have kind of swung back the other way. Willie's got the size and speed to counteract somebody like Gobert or Whiteside. It's a tough ask for Omari to guard those guys. So some of it is matchup based, but we're just trying to get guys as much of a chance to play as possible and give different looks to different lineups.
Hi, Steve. What is your criteria when you're making your All-Stars picks?
My criteria for All-Star picks. So I reward teams that have won, players that are playing on winning teams. So if I have, usually it's pretty clear-cut kind of, if you get, I think we picked 7 reserves, is that right, Raymond?
We picked 7, 2 guards, 3 front court players, and 2 wild cards.
Yeah, so it seems to me over the last 5 years doing this that the first 5 picks are generally pretty obvious, and then it gets down to you're picking 2 guys out of 5 or 6. And so for me, I think winning should be a major priority. So if two players are even or neck and neck, I would probably lean towards the player on the team that's winning. I think that's the whole point of the game. Beyond that, I don't know. I also poll our coaches, so I usually do it on the plane on a road trip and kind of ask the coaches, and we have a discussion about it. So it's something that I give some thought to and welcome the thoughts of our assistants as well.
And then along those lines, and with that in mind, does it feel weird to you that Rudy Gobert has been left off after being DPOY for 2 years?
Gosh, I can't remember exactly last year. He's absolutely one of those guys who's right there every year. He made it a couple of years ago, right? Has he made it yet in his career? He's not made it yet. That's surprising to me. But I think every year he's for sure one of those guys in that group who's going to be, close right on the edge. I think this year probably will have a better chance based on their success, but that's without having really looked at the numbers yet either.
Steve, along those lines, when you pick in the reserves, there's so many Western Conference guards that just seem to be automatics. They've got experience, they've been winners. What about John Morant? I mean, a guy who's so mind-blowing. Everybody's talking about him, and they're kind of winning. I mean, they're not winning big, but does you look at him as like, you got to wait your turn behind guys who have been doing it for years?
No, it's a great point. He's having a fantastic year. Memphis is one of the best stories of the season. One of the real surprises, and he's a big reason for it. So I think he'll get real consideration. He's a hell of a player, great competitor, and has helped lift that team to a different level. So he's got a really good chance. Again, I haven't even looked at the ballot yet. Haven't done the numbers, but I would think he'll get real consideration from the coaches.
Anything else?
Thanks, everybody.
Great, thank you, appreciate this.